Hi. Hello. How are we doing? Let me know how the volume is. Last time the volume was weird. I'm always afraid. Forever afraid. Hi. So, are we ready? Are we ready to talk about Infinity War with all of the spoilers? We've had time. It's been a week. I feel like a week is fair game to do this. I didn't want it to be too spoiler filled. That's why I canceled last week's because I was afraid that if we did it last week, we would have a bunch of spoilers for people who hadn't seen it yet, and I didn't want to do that. So, yes. Space Dorito, it's too soon. It's too soon. We're not ready for that meme yet. Dylan, you too. All of you stop, but I don't feel so good. I'm not ready. Because Sean and I didn't pay to watch a horror movie. Okay, so I guess the big question for everybody who's already here and everything like that is, did we like it? Did you like it? Let me know. I want to know before I launch into what I have to say. And yes, I did hear about Groot's last words, that they were dead. I bet that all of the rocket shippers just died a little bit inside. I loved it, but it caused me emotional pain. Miss Lai, you didn't watch it and you're ready to be spoiled? Okay, if you're ready, enter at your own risk. I put spoilers in the title as many times as possible to avoid that. The memes are great. The memes have been pretty great. Okay, I have a lot of feelings, so I'm not even sure where to start with all of this because there's just so much to tackle here that I'm not sure where to begin. But I have to say, I've kind of found myself like that thing that I always worry about happening happened a little bit, where it's like 98% of people loved it, and I'm over there like, and, yeah, guys, it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite. It did not fill me with the joy and the amazement as it seems to have all of you. Oh no. Oh, well, firstly, what did you guys like about it? I need to know. I need to know what you guys liked about it before I launch into my usual salt crusted rants. For I am nothing if not a salt creature from the salt pits. Cypher, I did like Thanos. I have to say that the way they handled that arc was pretty cool, and the way they changed it from the comic arc, him loving death, and to his master plan to kind of cleanse the universe and all that. Yeah, that was okay. I was down for that. Like, well, Catherine, I mean, I don't think they're actually dead. And no, it wasn't the ending. No, Mia, it wasn't the ending. I enjoy that it was 4 or 5 B plots smashed into one movie. I guess it really depends. Oh, how to articulate. This is gonna be hard for me to articulate. I'll do my best to try and wrap this up. It's like, okay, I like the Marvel movies a lot, but I don't love them and I don't think they're perfect. And there are certain flaws and issues that I've always had with the Marvel movies that kind of all came together and coalesced in one massive giant ball for this movie. And I'm trying to separate it from the overhype and stuff like that, because I know that some of it is the overhype, some of it is the loss of characters that I cared about, but it's not really that. I think the biggest thing for me is this movie highlighted the most for me how Marvel likes to set up these really important character threats and then just kind of resolve them off screen or realize they don't have time for them in the up and coming movies. And that has started to happen more and more and more the more films that they make, which is understandable because they're trying to do more and more things. So on one hand, I totally get it. On the one hand, I understand that the main goal of this one was, we got to do the Infinity War arc. We got to get the stones. We got to do the thing. And I'm like, yeah. But at the same time, even then with the pacing and all of the action, I guess it depends what you were going in for and what you watched these movies for. I'm really more of a character development type of person. I love action. I love seeing everybody get their own character bits. I love that the Cape saved Doctor Strange, for the Cape continues to be one of the best characters out there. I am here for the Cape. But there were certain things that I felt had been made really big deals of in other films, that they kind of made it seem like this film was going to be the big culmination of all those things, and they just didn't happen. I've been reading tons of articles about everything leading up to this, tons of Russo brothers articles, tons of behind the scenes stuff, just everything. I actually read one right before I hopped on here about why they didn't resolve the Steve Tony issue, which was one of my really big things, because they just kind of decided that we're just going to decide that the Accords were bad and brush it under the rug because we don't have time, because that's what a lot of stuff felt like we don't have time because we have to focus on the Thanos stuff. And on the one hand, I understand that, but then it's kind of like, well, then maybe we need another film in between. We shouldn't have set all of that stuff up. Like, I don't know. And also, okay, Gamora and Thanos' arc, I liked. I actually bought a t-shirt with Thanos on it that says #1 dad, because I think it's hilarious. And I can't wait for it to show up and to wear it in videos, because it is going to be so great. I am looking forward to causing all of that. But I wish that they had set up the Gamora Nebula Thanos dynamic in Guardians 2. I was like, to me, all of the problems of it coming together as an event comic, where like not everybody's working together, we haven't figured everything out yet. It was very much an event comic made manifest, with all of the good things that entails and all of the bad things that entails too. Because I'm like, oh, if we had spent Guardians 2 setting that up instead of dealing with Peter's dad and all of that nonsense, then we could have gone into this and had more time for other things. It's just, okay, let's talk. They didn't set it up really in one, Chloe, not really, because they never fully set up that sisterly bond as well as they could have. And they had time in Guardians 2, because they didn't really do anything in Guardians 2 except for kill Yondu that they needed to. So we could have done other stuff. We could have done other stuff with that would have led up into this big climactic thing, instead of leaving a gap and making certain things feel very rushed, like how some of the relationships were just together. Because even the writer said, I was reading a Russo brothers article where they were like, we didn't have time. They're like, we had no time. They're like, we had to do Thanos and we had no time. And I was like, I understand that, but yeah. I love Nebula. Like, more Nebula all the time. I'm looking forward to more Nebula. I think she's fantastic. Her character design has always been one of my favorites. Like, I don't like Sarita. I don't need them to resolve it. I just need them to acknowledge. I don't care if they still Thanos. I've come to bargain. I don't care if they still hate each other. I do not care. Like, I just And okay, I wanted Tony to call Steve. Okay, so let's talk about the deaths. How do we feel about them? Because I don't really feel like there were any stakes, and these deaths were supposed to feel big and stake-like, and I don't feel it. And I feel almost a Harry Potter syndrome. I feel almost fridged at certain points. I feel like people died because war is for serious, yo. And I read a bunch of the articles where they were like, how to decide how to kill people. And they were like, for the main narrative impact. And I'm like, you know what? I think I will need to see the follow-up movies before I decide how I feel about this one. Like, I will need to see how it pays off, if that makes any sense at all. Like, depending on how it plays out, I think that will improve or, confirm how I feel about this one. Like, I'll just really need to see. I want to see how it fits in as the linchpin, because all of these movies are so interconnected. And I think that's part of why I have such an issue with it, is because all of these movies are supposed to be interconnected. And yet there are so many things that I felt were just left or ignored or didn't have time. And even with the director's cut, based on what they've said and how they wrote it, I don't think we're going to get to deal with a lot of that stuff. So, okay. Loki. Okay. Yeah, Elle, I'm with you there. I'm like, if he is dead, firstly, I feel that is a very silly narrative move. And if he's not, then it was very much a whole like, look at how serious and dark this is kind of move. And I'm not here for either of those things. It was kind of like, we redeemed him, we fixed it. Wasn't that great in Thor 3? Oh, well, I mean, he died saving his brother, so that's good character development. It felt like, okay, from Thor 3 to this one, it felt like all of Thor's supportive cast just got fridged so that he could have some pathos and so that other people could go and, you know, go on with their careers. And Uptown Doug, Taylor Swift had influence on that scene. Yeah, Taylor Swift killed Loki. Oh my gosh. It's just, I didn't feel it. It's like, and here's the other thing too. It's that in this day and age, we have so much access to, you know, how many more films someone has on their contract, to IMDb, to the cast lists for other things, that sometimes it's just the suspense. You don't have it anymore because you know too much. You just know too much. Like, I already looked at the thing. I know that Bucky's in the next one. Like, unless it's all flashback, like, he's fine. And that's fine. Like, I don't mind. Comic book rules. I actually prefer that. I prefer when people don't die unless it is narratively necessary. Like, that's the thing. I always feel that death should be an option because it improves the story narratively and there are no more stories to tell. And I did not feel that was the case with people they chose. Some of them aren't dead. Like, Gamora's in the stone. She's all right. Valkyrie had other things to do. And so she was busy. So she had to be handled off screen. Yeah, like, they answered what happened to Valkyrie. And so she was off screen. She escaped beforehand because she was busy and they didn't have time to film her. Kind of like how Sif isn't in Thor 3 because she was busy filming Blind Spot, because people have other obligations. And when you do a film this big, obviously you're not going to be able to get everybody all of the time. So yeah, but that was a pretty big oversight on the Valkyrie thing, because it's like she was in the last scene and it's like, oh yeah. Yeah, Victoria, that's how they did it. I liked Tessa Thompson's answer a bit better though, when they asked her on Twitter and she was like, she was at the bar. That made me laugh. Tessa Thompson makes me laugh. I adore her. She's fantastic. For any of you who haven't seen the emotion picture with her and Janelle Monáe, The Dirty Computer, it's really worth it. And the songs are really cool too. I mean, oh, Tamara, if the Guardians stay dead, I will feel like I wasted my time. Like, honestly, I will feel like like, I would just be like, really? I could have been doing other things. I could have been reading a book. I'm so salty. I'm so salty. Oh, Tony Pepper Baby. Remember when Pepper actually did stuff in these movies, when she had a role? I saw her on the Avengers Infinity War red carpet, Gwyneth Paltrow, and she just looked so done. And now after seeing this movie, I understand why. I understand why. And I get the people. Okay, I understand the Stucky people. I really do, because I totally get the Stilling people too, where it's like he was holding the phone for 2 whole years, like the Blurb. And I understand he called out Steve when he collapsed. It was all like, Steve. Ugh. And I get it. But at the same time, I felt so gypped for the Steve and Tony, not Steve and Tony, them two, but Steve and Bucky. It was just, you know, they made that big deal. They were like, I'm freezing you. I defied the world for you. Like, oh, hey, it's been 2 years. Sup? Did I come visit you? Did I not come visit you? You're fine now. You got unfrozen. Did I visit you then? How are you doing, White Wolf? I don't know. I'm nomad now. Pepper showed up to cash her check. Damn straight. She needs that Stark money. Saul. I did enjoy Thanos. I enjoyed Thanos, except for one thing. One teeny little nitpick. No, Josie, tell me what they said about Tom. Tell me about that. I need to know. And I will explain my teeny tiny nitpick. Okay, but if they reverse all the deaths, then I feel even more like I wasted my time. Anyway, teeny tiny Thanos nitpick. Okay, Thanos nitpick. This happens in all comic book movies, so it's not unique to this one. He has a glove with all of these magical stones, and they show a scene where he uses it correctly. The scene where he uses the reality stone, and not when he like breaks Drax into cubes or anything like that, when he actually creates an alternate scenario for Gamora where she kills him and everything. He's using the stones. I'm like, that is so cool. That is awesome. But then he doesn't do it again. And I'm kind of like, okay, it took away all of this suspense for me because I'm like, he has the reality stone. You can already pretty much do anything. But then he gets the time stone. And so at the end, when they're doing that climactic scene with Scarlet Witch and she has to destroy her love, the Vision's Mind Stone, it's all dramatic, intense. I'm just thinking, like, he's got the time stone. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. You can't manipulate me, movie. I didn't forget. He's got the time stone. He can just all the way to the beginning. Like, it doesn't. I love Iron Dad. Yes, I do love Iron Dad so much. Iron Dad is all of the things. It's amazing. And I love that Tom Holland ad-libbed that scene, which is part of why RDJ looks so confused when he collapses into him, because Tom Holland was ad-libbing. And I think it's a great ad-lib because his death is one of the ones that I felt was the most heartfelt and the most like he's acting and he's doing it. And yeah, props to him. Time Stone, the Stone of Flock Convenience. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. The memes of that, the disintegration memes have had me laughing so hard. I am loving it so much. Master Leaks, I've actually seen the Super Family is returning. I'm actually doing a video on it, but it's more so with Doctor Strange and Tony as his parents, because Iron Strange, they left Benedict Cumberbatch's wink in one scene, and I was like, there was no reason for you to leave that in, except for me. No, only for me. You left it for me personally. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm trying to think. Like, it's just there were so many things that I wanted, and I know it's not fair to be like, Tom is not getting too old to play Loki. That's ridiculous. Tom still looks great, and they finally got a wig that doesn't look ridiculous. So, you know, it's fine. They finally got a wig that works. It's not a hot mess like Thor 2. It's just, I know it's not fair to hold a movie to the standard of like, it wasn't what I wanted. And like, that's not really what it is. I mean, there were lots of things, like lots of characters I wanted to meet and stuff that didn't. But I guess for me, it's just, I felt like I couldn't breathe. It was just so much action. I didn't have any time to like assess people's character motivation, why they were doing things. And like, nobody had time to talk or anything because they didn't have any time because they had to do so much. And I'm like, if you still had to do so much, then I feel that the setup leading up to this was not adequate, because there should have been more time to breathe, move, and be able to have people maybe have a conversation. That would be nice about stuff and things that happened. It's been 2 years. I also kind of love that the Russo brothers don't really like the Natasha Bruce pairing. And so they just kind of like stuck it in there a little bit. And they were just like, yeah, that was a thing that happened. Even in their interview, they were like, yeah, that was a Whedon decision. I was just like, ooh, you're salty as me. Salt's real. Oh, Tony X Strange X Cape. The cape is real, man. I'm Shadow Seed. I was excited for Captain Marvel. Like, I love Captain Marvel as a character, just in general. I think she's awesome. I'm genuinely less excited for Marvel movies after this. I am. I just feel kind of like a decade. That was a decade of my life, guys. I'm 28. I'm 28 years old. No, you're not the only one who got Widow Cap vibes. Like, for sure. That would have been nice to see explored as well. What were they doing? Am I the only one who has these questions? Sometimes I feel like they just leave fans and fandom to fill in all these gaps because they're like, we don't have time. Y'all do it. Y'all fill it in. It doesn't matter because you guys can do it in your stories. Demi. Yeah, probably. If the second part and the stuff in the next phase 4 is really good and it pays off what happened in this one, then 100% I could go back and be like, this was the most amazing movie ever. But like, I don't know. It actually made me appreciate Iron Man 3 more. And you know how I feel about Iron Man 3, you guys. You know. Because Iron Man 3, for all of the flaws that I have with it and its tonal shifts and everything, it addressed the movie that came before it. It was like, yeah, Avengers, that happened. Now Tony has got PTSD and he's got to deal with it. And it's just like, so many of these deaths felt so Harry Pottery to me. I swear, like Doctor Strange, he probably has more of a plan than just save Tony, but the way they did it made it seem very much like, oh, I just need to save Tony Stark. I'm sure it was part of the permutations of the outcomes that he saw, but really, I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I didn't care. I have rarely been this disconnected from any Marvel movie. I feel bad because all of you guys are like, yeah, and I'm like, salt, 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 salt. Oh, I like Loki. I'm not a Loki army member, Josie, but I liked that he was finally getting some actual consistent character development, and they were continuing along that line, and they were like, but Jed, because Thor needs to feel bad, and we don't feel like writing him with Loki, because if he had Loki with him, then he could do magic, and that would make a lot of things a lot easier. So yeah. Oh my gosh. I like Tom Holland. I'm looking forward to the next Spider-Man. I hope he's still Spider-Man. Like, I'm sure they'll keep him back. I mean, I'd love to see Miles too, but this Peter's not done. So if he was done again, that would just be such a lame narrative arc. And they keep, yeah, I know. No, I know. Like they're not permanent. And that's the thing, is that I'm so like, just like most of them probably aren't going to be permanent. So any of the emotional resonance to me just feels hollow. It just feels so hollow. And they were like, we weren't going to even have an end credit scene. And I was like, why? I already know there are 3 more of these coming. Just because you don't put an end credit scene doesn't mean you're not going to make any more movies. Like, I feel like there's a huge disconnect between how they feel that they can get the audience to do stuff and what the audience actually knows. Okay. I'm cleansed. I am clean. Now what did I like? Like Thor. I liked Thor a lot. Okay, yeah, Quill. Have fun, Miss Life. I am not Peter Quill. I was really disappointed with that scene too. It was kind of like, you couldn't the universe, half of the universe was at stake and your feels took over. Just unimpressed. Yeah, I know, Demi. Like, if he didn't tell them their plan, like, why? Don't fool yourself. I will never be free of the salt. I know. It's my natural state. And now you guys know the truth. I am nothing but a salt pillar. Okay, guys, I was trying to tell you what I liked about it. I liked that this movie was made. A lot of people are actually arguing that it shouldn't have been made at all. And I'm like, no, like, I think it's impressive that we got here and we did it and we got everybody together. And no matter what you think about it, it happened. It sure did happen. And some of the things were cool and it had its moments. I laughed at Thor and Quill having their little like hot guy banter, and I enjoyed Tony and Strange having their stuff. I really wish they could have done their more science and magic thing, but again, there was no time because there was no time for anything. I enjoyed seeing Black Widow and Akana and Scarlet Witch, and I enjoyed seeing them all together and fighting. That was pretty cool. I like that Thor has more character development. Like I was saying earlier, like I like that he's really gone through a really cool arc throughout the whole thing. Like not all of them have had consistent arcs, but he's had one that's really taken him to, even though it's a very dark place, it's a very interesting place. And he's got his axe from the comics, and that's pretty cool. And I did enjoy Peter Dinklage as well. That was cute. Space Dorito, like my Tony Stark pop culture reference jokes, they vary. I'm not a huge pop culture reference joke person in the first place. I like Tony. I think that's the thing I like about him the least, though. Would you prefer it if it was split into extra films? Absolutely. I would have preferred it. I would have had like 2 or 3 more before this one leading up to it, if we had to, I would not have minded to do the giant climactic thing. I might even have had phase 4 before it and introduced Wasp, Captain Marvel, all the other stuff before, and I would have been absolutely fine with that. 100%. Yeah, Bucky and Rocket was cute. I like to imagine that Rocket's got his arm now. Everything vanishes but his arm, you guys. I liked, the Thor Rocket, rabbit stuff. I understand why Rocket is taking off for sure. And yes, I was watching Teen Titans Go. No, I didn't cry. Green eyes, I did not cry, for I have a heart that is made of nothing but stone and stilled. I don't know. I liked Thor's eye patch, to be honest. I don't know. See, Whirly King, I didn't find it dire. I felt no pressure. I didn't feel like I didn't connect with this film at all, which is a shame because I like so many of the characters in it, and I still enjoy the characters a lot, but I didn't connect with it. And I actually felt that Gamora scene with Gamora and Thanos before he tosses her into the pit, or into the Soul Stone rather. I felt that her acting was kind of really hammy, and I just wasn't feeling it at all. Because you love nothing. And I was just like, oh, and it's like they hired me. But to do that's like level of acting, my acting. The Red Skull being there was okay, but I didn't care. Yeah, again, Claire, I felt that was super predictable too. It was like, oh, why am I here at this one place where there needs to be a sacrifice? How could this possibly be? I know, Grayshawn, I know. Who is your favorite character in this specific movie? In this specific movie? Probably Peter. I enjoyed Peter a lot in this. I enjoyed his whole team. I'm gonna come with. I want to help. I was like, yay. But again, you didn't really get to see a lot of anybody in this, which is fine because you had to see a bit of everybody. But there are certain people that I like, even Steve. And Steve and I have our beef, and I'm like, I needed more amazing, angry, bearded Steve in my life. I just needed so much more of everything. And I wanted certain questions answered. I was like, well, what were you doing this entire time? Where were you? What are the status of the Accords and stuff? All of this is kind of important because the thing is, the people in space, they're dealing with Thanos directly, and the people know that Thanos is coming, but they don't really have a full concept of what Thanos is and everything. So the fact that all of their earthly stuff just completely stops, it's just I would another film in before just Quiller Parker for what? Just in general, just pick one right now. I don't. That's hard. Can't I have both Peters? Why do I gotta choose? Yeah, Tony and Nebula bonding would be pretty good. I've read some great, them bonding on the way back to Earth fics already. I've read tons of fics post this, a lot of fics, tons of fix-its, tons of time travel stuff with the stone. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm still mad at Steve, but I can't stay mad at him. Guess that's what Tony feels. Oh, you guys are great. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. I'm like, what else happened? Because this movie was long, but even though it was really rushed, not a lot happened either. So any fics I would recommend? Not at the moment. Most of them are in this incomplete, in-betweeny kind of phase. So I don't want to recommend until No, Kyle, it's pretty interesting a lot because people are coming at it from so many different angles. And that's the thing, is because people had so many different expectations of what they wanted that there are really a whole variety of different fics for sure. And definitely there's a lot of, Peter and stuff and all of that. I just want to see Tony be happy. After all of this, we finally get Thanos, and they do a decent job with Thanos and making him feel, at least if not menacing, at least not to me, at least fleshed out and nuanced, which I appreciated. But then because of that, they didn't have time to do anything else. And that was the article I was reading where they're actually like, oh, we tried to write the Steve and Tony scene. We tried to write a Bucky Nat scene. We tried to write all of these other scenes, but we didn't have time because then it took away from Thanos. And what that says to me is that, well, then either we didn't do the other stuff properly in the other films, we didn't build him up properly in the other films, because there's just tons of loose ends now. And if we come back to some of it, I don't think it will matter anymore. And it will never matter. And depending on how they handle that, that could be brilliant. That could be just absolutely like, mwah, perfect. Like things were more important and they circumvented. But it's like, well, for 2 years. So it's kind of just like, but like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Like you could do some really cool stuff with like, we have to resolve all our issues now because there's more important things at stake. Original Avengers unite, including Hawkeye, because in this Earth ending scenario, we need an Archer. And... But I don't know, because the series has a history of not exactly being able to pull that off very well. So I don't know. I think this is the movie that shattered a lot of my illusions that we could ever have some really solid writing, at least in terms of character development. I mean, okay, let's take that outside and like how they handled the Infinity Stone plot. I think that was pretty decent, even though we didn't use the stones as creatively as I think would have been interesting. But I think that's just the problem with the stones in general, because once you get the stones, you're just God level, and that's not as interesting. So of course we have to have it just evolve into a fist fight. But I don't know, you guys. My fave pairing, like what, of this movie or just in general? Yeah, I know. They were like, he's the protagonist. But again, it's kind of like, is it fair to make him the protagonist when there are so many other loose ends hanging? And when you spend so much other time with these characters to just kind of be like, well, we're not going to resolve any of the stuff that we made a big deal in those other movies, even though all these movies are supposed to have been leading up to this one. So it's different when you're in, like, say, Iron Man 4, let's pretend, or like Spider-Man 2, and we don't deal with stuff because that's their own movies. But Avengers is supposed to be where we deal with all of the stuff. So I'm just kind of like... Super. I don't know. Probably. I always leave the link up on my Twitter and Instagram for people who want to catch up if they missed it. But I usually leave it unlisted after, because YouTube's weird about this kind of thing. Really, King? I think it could have been. I think this whole concept could have been just done better. I'm sad, but not for the same reason all y'all are sad. Alan. Fave pairing in this movie? I liked how this movie laid the seeds for Iron Strange, for me. I mean, also Stony, of course. I mean, he kept that phone on him for 2 years, just like there, like, I will follow you. But yeah, Demigod, I understand like that feeling for sure. I mean, I wasn't watching for any specific pairing content, just for people to talk to each other. I mean, even like think about Nat and Bruce. Like, it's been years, 2 years. It's like, hey, I guess the world is ending. So even though in other films we've had tons of time to like do things like make out and have full on just like existential crises, and this one will just say, hey, it's not like Ultron. When Ultron was trying to end the world, there was plenty of time. It's fine. What's my Instagram? It's just Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. I try to keep it pretty simple across the board. Can we talk about how Thanos just went on vacation after this whole thing? He's chilling on the beach. I need that shirt too. Just Thanos on the beach. The Long Island iced tea. What do you think the next story arc will be? I don't even know. And I don't even know if I care. I don't know if I care. I'm so disappointed with this, but I don't know if I care anymore. Like, I was always that person who was there like opening night, and now I'm kind of like, I don't know, probably for the tradition of the thing, but I don't know anymore. And again, this isn't a character thing, because I'm excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel and Black Panther 2 and Spider-Man 2 and all that stuff. I'm just like, I don't know. Do you read comics? All the time. Constantly. I'm a huge comic fiend. Like just obsessed. I love comics. I have this arc actually in omnibus form. DC or Marvel, both. I don't discriminate. DC, Marvel, Indie, both of their offshoot companies, Vertigo, Dark Horse, just everything. I consume comics. I just really enjoy the medium of comics for telling stories. Yes, there is, Jay, and because we all know that it's not serious because it's comic book rules. Like some of them are dead because war is serious, but others will just be back because they were only for that movie to show that war was serious, but then it'll be fine. Yeah, sure. Suggest a comic. I love comic suggestions, please. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, just rockets sobbing in space alone. That's so sad for 2 hours. Favorite comic? Oh, that's too hard. There are so many. I couldn't just pick one. Like, you go into an island, pick one comic. Like, no, then I'm not going to the island. My sister thought Fury called Wonder Woman at the end. How amazing would that be? You know what I've been watching a ton of? Just a bunch of crossover vids at the end of this. I was just looking for some Loki stuff, and then all of a sudden I slid into this magical world of Thor and Diana. And now I think I've seen most Thor and Diana videos on the internet, and I'm totally here for that. No, I'm not reading, friends. Right now I'm reading Batman White Knight. The next issue is coming out like tomorrow, I think, and it's finally done. So then I actually want to do a video reviewing it because the way it handles Bat jokes and Joker and Harley is really interesting to me. Oh, Bruce and Tony. I know, science bros. At least that's alive, right? At least they acknowledge that they were friends and deserve to have like a moment, like literally one moment. I'm just reading all the comic recs that people are sending me, which I appreciate because my salt levels know no bounds. Actually, what I've been doing is I've written a bunch of Marvel stuff. So that's going to be fun when we get to it. I'm just editing Grindeldor right now. So once that's done, then there's going to be a ton of like Marvel headcanons and that kind of stuff coming up. And I've actually been reading some fandom books that I'm going to review. So that's going to be a lot of fun. No, I've read Saga. Like I'm reading. I actually have a Saga shirt because I'm really obsessed with it. Yeah, Fluffy. I don't know. Like I feel like now, honestly, I feel like there's something wrong with me because so many people came out and were like, this is the best movie of all time. Like all my friends were texting me and they're like, wasn't this the best movie you've ever seen? It fulfilled all of my hopes and dreams. It culminated all the things I've been waiting for. I had a nerdgasm when the Red Skull showed up and it was the best movie of all time. Marvel really pulled it out. And I was just like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I broken? Am I broken? Can I no longer feel feelings? Have I been inside of fandom for too long? My soul has been drained. I don't know. Have I seen too much? I don't even know, Claire. Like, because it's not even a canon thing. Because I've accepted the MCU as its own canon, so it can do its own thing. I don't even mind if it doesn't follow comic stuff. It's just I'm just so disappointed. Oh, Deekster. Also, I emailed you, but it bounced back. I don't know. They keep changing Wonder Woman's backstory in canon so much. I'm just like, can we just don't make her Donna Troy? Let's make it consistent. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Valkyrie and Mantis interacting would have been cool. I love that the Mantis and Spider-Man ship is popping up. That one, I'm enjoying that one a lot, actually. Okay, Denton, I will agree with that. Spectacle-wise, like it's not like I would never see. I've read The Wicked and the Divine. It's not that I would never see this movie again because I would. And again, there were sequences that I enjoyed, and I laughed. Like it's not like I sat there stone-faced like the entire time. Like I laughed. It got me a few times. Like, why is Gamora hilarious? There were so many things that I really enjoyed. It's just on the whole, I think the things that I didn't were so all-encompassing for me that they override the small moments that I did enjoy. Although Cape Saving Strange, so good. Also Spider-Man. Oh, so we're using our made-up names. It's so good, and they keep including that in so many of the fics. I'm really enjoying it. Oh, yeah, bug shipping. Kick notes, take ass. I've seen a bunch of t-shirts with that, and it makes me so happy. Also, some of them actually involve They Live. And I don't know which of the Marvel movies I love like the most. Yes, I have heard about the Wolverine podcast. I am here for more superhero podcasts, to be honest. Oh my gosh. It's just the struggles. The fangirl struggles are so real sometimes, you guys. I just feel like a salty curmudgeon yelling at kids to get off their lawn. And I don't know if I should see it again. Most of these I see more than once. I'm not sure if this one is one I'm going to see again. I don't know. Not until later, like until, I don't know. There are so many opportunities for the ship name, and that's part of what makes it great. Oh, Kiwi Gamer, there is a Wolverine podcast. That's right, a scripted podcast. So just a radio drama on the internet. Thoughts on Heimdall? Idris Elba's got other stuff to do. He's got other stuff to do. He doesn't have time. The roles in the Thor films did not pan out to be really anything worth his time, I don't think. Like, he's got other stuff to do. Oh my gosh. What do I want? Somebody asked a while up, like, what did I want to see in the next one? Okay. Let's take aside anything that I want personally, like the interactions I want to see. Like, let's just go away. Those can go away from it. All I want to see is a better balance between action and character development, and potentially maybe, like Sammy just said, like, yeah, like maybe there are too many actors in it. I don't know, but it's just, I would like to see an attempt. And if they have to make it like a 4-hour epic, like they used to, remember back in the day, like Lawrence of Arabia and those things, or you would sit there, there'd be an intermission. I know they would never do that because you can't play it as many times, because what they're doing right now is they're doubling up with theaters. Like they'll play it in like 4 or 5 screens in a cinema to maximize their profit, right? And they made it back. But I'd like to think that that means that they can see that, you know, they can go longer. Like, as I say, they can go deeper, they can go longer, and give it more time and more development. And I think people would be here for that, because that movie was almost 3 hours and it did not feel that long to me. And I could have watched another 2 easily. And I would have been happy. And yes, Starkville is a thing. Starkville has been a thing before. Starkville has been a thing even since, like, there's comic Starkville, there's all kinds of Starkville going on. Actually, a lot of people wanted Stark and Gamora because they've slept together in the comics, and some people were hoping to see that interaction, but Kyle, I don't feel bad about not liking it. It's just, I just feel like I feel left out. You know, like everybody had such a good time. I want to have a good time. I want to like things. I don't want to be a party pooper. I don't want to poop on people's parties. I'm trying. I'm fun, guys. I feel like that kid that shows up at the end is like, I'm fun, I swear. Yeah, because Tony and Gamora were awkward because she didn't have a good time. Tony's not all that. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how you could have balanced it. I don't think you could have, which again, that's why I'm saying, like, it would have had to be done before. And like somebody said that they think that this was as good as it could have been. And that frightens me because we have to do it again. Like, we have to do it again. And I'm like, I want it to be better next time. I want it to be better next time. I like action. I like action as much as the next person. I love seeing people fight. Let them fight. But I also like seeing them talk. Let them talk. Ooh, Lady Loki would be amazing. Or Kid Loki. I'd be down for either of those since Tom Hiddleston is too old. He's not too old. Sit down. If RDJ can still be Iron Man, Tom Hiddleston can still be Loki. Whose death was the saddest for you? Like demigods, like I said, I didn't care. I was not touched by anything. Not Gamora, not even Peter. And Peter's was the best acted. The closest one to getting me was Peter's. But even then, I already know that they're filming too. And he's in it. So I enjoyed the do you ever think that fan fiction gives you too much expectation the movies can never deliver on? I think that fan fiction sometimes will affect how you see a certain plot because you'll be like, read that and it was better. I don't think so because there are tons of times that these movies have diverted from the way that fics have gone, and I've enjoyed it just as much, if not more sometimes. So yeah, I know exactly. They're not going to stick. So we'll always have Tom in our hearts. How would you compare this with your experience with The Last Jedi? I've never talked about my experience with The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was just. Last Jedi is another topic for another chat. Oh, because Kiwi Gamer, they're saying he's too old. They're hating. Or as the Tin Hatters like to think, they're like, Taylor Swift destroyed his career. How did you get into fanfics? Oh, okay, I can recommend sites for sure, like AO3 for me, because it's really easy to use the filter option and search. That is super easy. Rhodey's too old. Don Cheadle looks fantastic. How dare you? How dare you? It took me, okay, honestly, with this movie, it took me a while to process. Like, I came out and at first I was really odd, like AWED, not like awe. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I don't like it. I'm that person who doesn't like it. And I feel like, especially in lots of the articles, it's just kind of like being brushed aside as like, oh, you're just unhappy. And they usually equate it with men, which is unfair because they're like, oh, those fanboys can't be pleased. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm a huge fanboy then because. Favorite joke? Favorite joke toss up between we're using our made up names and why is Gamora? I actually saw a shirt with all of the Gamora questions on it and I was tempted, but then the Thanos #1 dad shirt went out because that's too funny. Do you have to hide your fanfic tabs in your computer when people are around? No, because I live at home with just my husband and daughter, so it doesn't matter. There are no strangers, no judgment here. Why is Gamora? Well, she's in the Soul Stones. That kind of confirms that there's a soul world, so that's promising. I like to think that all the people just chilling in the soul world, having a great time, having a party, having a better time than me, that's for damn sure. Just having a great time. Is my husband also into fandom? Yes, but not as much as me. Oh. When Black Panther died, okay, sure, Jan. I know, again, they already made a huge deal about Black Panther 2, and that's the thing. Like, the Russo brothers, I feel like part of it is that they're acting like this movie existed in a vacuum. Like, I just went to see this movie, and I have no knowledge about anything else in the world. And it's like, okay, but I already know, because people were already talking about how excited they are to see Black Panther 2, and, like, how they're filming this. And they were asking Bucky, Sebastian Stan, on the red carpet about what his next interactions with him and Tony are going to be like. And he was like, oh yeah, there's still beef. And I'm like, well, unless he was totally lying, since I saw his name pop up in the credits for the next one that they're filming, they're going to meet and talk about it, which I love. Can they just have coffee? Like, Steve just bursts in and is like, oh my God, are you guys okay? And they're like, yeah, chill. We solved it off screen, like all things in these movies. We're having coffee. How are you? Oh, I love that the original Avengers cast got matching tattoos. That's just, I think that's super cute. I want to be part of something cool where I can get a matching tattoo with somebody. How do you feel about Wanda going House of M in future movies? Here for it. Here for it. I liked House of M. I know a lot of people didn't. I really enjoyed House of M. I am here. I'm here for all of it. Fake children all the way. Let's do it. Okay, Demigod, I actually wanted them to disappear differently. I mean, I love the disintegration because it's given us the great disintegration meme. I wanted them to just not be. They're just gone. No helicopters crashing into anything. No nothing. Just, they're gone. And no one remembers except for the Avengers. And here they are fighting to solve this giant calamity that nobody knows happened. In fact, maybe the other people are happier. And then you have like an actual moral dilemma, because maybe you'll have a world that's actually better, but all of these people are missing. And then you'd have to think about it. But no, I'm just punch, 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 kick, 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 action, action, action. There's no time for anyone but Thanos. Let beauty come out of the ashes. What solo movie do you want most, but you know won't happen? Remember back in the day when there was all that talk about that Hawkeye Black Widow movie? Remember that? Or remember Budapest? Budapest. That Black Widow movie that they're still trying to pretend it's going to happen. They tried to really kick into high gear when they saw people respond to the Red Sparrow trailer, because I was here for Black Widow. I was here for the Winter Soldier on his own. I was here for so many things. There were so many movies that I would and still will watch. Thanos could have doubled the resources. Well, yeah, but he didn't think of that, okay? How much coffee have I had? I had a cup before I started this, but I'm also just really passionate about this. I'm really passionate about this, you guys. White Wolf movie. I know, right? She-Hulk TV show. Yes. Apparently they talked to 65 directors for the Black Widow movie. Why doesn't anybody want to direct this thing? Oh my god. No, like, again, there were other ways that you could have used the stones, and he didn't even use all of them. He could have just gotten 3, because clearly just some combination, because if he was just going to be lazy and punch people anyway. Like, if I had amazing Infinity Stones, I don't even want to think about what the universe would look like. Oh my gosh, just me remaking this movie. and then Steve and Tony sat down and had a conversation. And then Bucky came in and him and Steve had a conversation. And then they used that memory device that Tony invented in Civil War for apparently no reason on Bucky and helped him get better. And everybody bonded and there was a purpose for everything that happened in that movie. And they became an OT3 and things were good. And then Natasha resolved her backstory. And then Clint was chilling with his secret family. And then Ant-Man mattered. Pepper actually did stuff. She came back and she was running Tony's company and getting screen time and taking names. Thoughts on Adam Warlock? I would have loved if they had done the Adam Warlock as Star-Lord's father thing that was a fan theory for a while before they did too, and then it was Ego the Living Planet for reasons. Can we make Infinity Wars in your vision? I wish, but it would just be people talking and everybody would be mad. They'd be like, excuse me, where's the action in this movie? There'd be like one fight scene at the end. And like it would matter and they'd all fight together because that would have been really cool too. And no one would do anything stupid. In my movie, no one would be like, I'm so blinded by my own emotions, even though the entire universe is at stake. I'm going to stop pulling off this glove that could have stopped you because that will create tension. They can probably bring Vision back. They were hinting at it. I mean, that's the thing. They can bring anybody back if they want to. It reminds me of, did anybody else see this this movie with Robert Downey Jr. back in the day called Soap Dish, where it was about everybody being on a soap opera? It was like him, Kevin Kline. Oh my God. It was such a good movie. It's an amazing movie. And I love it. But there's a great scene where the writers are talking and they need to bring a character back to life. And they're like, he was decapitated. That means he doesn't have a head. And somebody's like, so just sew it back on. Like, that's how I feel about this. They can sew his head back on. It's fine. I didn't mind Vision, and I want to see A Quiet Place. My friend and I are trying to go. Like, there were still people lined up for A Quiet Place when I was going to see this. I didn't mind Vision and Wanda. I just wish, again, that they hadn't jumped from, hey, we kind of like each other and it's cute, to bam, we're together. It's been 2 years. I will stay with you forever. Oh, no, but we can't develop that because action scene. Hey, Steve, why are you nomad now? Don't have time to explain. Doesn't matter. Let's go to Wakanda. Yes, I have seen Wonder Boys. I love Wonder Boys. I know, right? It's a quiet place. I can't have any snacks. What about the Okoye situation? I don't know. Should I post this after you guys? I feel like it'll just be unsub, unsub. She doesn't have the same opinions as the majority. Unsub. That already happens when I talk about certain ships. I can't have that. Don't post it. I know, Eternal. This is just for us. This is us. This is between you, all of me, all of you guys, and all the people who follow me on social media who will watch it after. Ben, I wasn't emotional about the movie. I was emotional about how betrayed it. Oh, I'm not excited for anything else anymore, guys. This is our bonding time. Romance, yeah, they have a hard time with romance in these movies. They really do. I saw some people who were like, at least Sharon isn't in this movie, and I was like, ooh, the shade. I'm living for it. We're bonding as fellow Canadians. I know, eh? I read somewhere this movie would focus on some characters. This movie didn't focus on any characters. It focused on Thanos, Gamora, kind of, sort of. Yeah, Tony-ish. But it's always Tony-ish. I mean, I love Tony though. But I mean, if I didn't love Tony, I would want to punch the world. Are you watching? Yes, I am watching Teen Titans Go. Don't be silent about it. I have no shame. I enjoy this show. There are some very clever meta jokes. There's a bunch of hidden shipping stuff in there that's really funny. They play with different mediums. They are on my salt level with talking trash to people who were like, you messed up my childhood. And I'm just, mwah, mwah, mwah. Give it to me all of the salt. Well, of course, the original one is better, but at the same time, this is completely different. Like, they're not the same thing. Like, my favorite start of this season is where they're making fun of the fact that they forgot how to be superheroes, which I think is hilarious. Unsoft. Kate, no, come back. I enjoy it. I think there's a lot to enjoy. It's like, it's unfortunate because it comes out, of course, and you got the entire voice cast and they didn't come back to do something more serious. But it's like, yeah, I totally get. Like, it would have been cool to see more Titans, but at the same time, there's a lot here that people don't give this one credit for, which is a shame because it does a lot of really clever, funny stuff. And it actually has some really intelligent episodes where it debunks a lot of like popular myths about money, investing, society, all kinds of stuff. So like oh, Cullen, the shaded live action Titans. We need to see it first. We have to give everything a chance, just like this. Give it a chance. I need to laugh, okay? I need to laugh. Why is Gamora can't keep me laughing all day? Netflix or Hulu? Netflix. Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Does anybody else feel like they didn't give Steve and Tony, not Steve and Tony, I keep saying Steve and Tony because they're on my brain because of his stupid phone that was like attached to his wristband. Steve and Bucky, did anybody else feel like they didn't give them scenes because of shippers? Because I was kind of like, is this because of us? Is this because we have no time, or is this because of us? Like, are you punishing us? Like, should I apologize? Like, is this because we like Stucky better than most of the other things? Oh, Sebastian Stan looked so done. He just looks so tired. Like, I have other things to be doing. Oh, Demigod, I felt it was unrealistic too. I mean, they built up that friendship. He literally defied the world for Bucky. And then it was like, sup, hug. Here you go. Maybe the next film, again, see Apple Pie? Like, maybe it'll all pan out. And then we'll all come back and rewatch this for those of you who have the unlisted link and laugh. And they will be much mocking. But I hope that's the case. Please, can that Please be the thing. Yeah, I felt his death was anticlimactic as well. No, they're not secretly stony because they didn't do that either. They were just like, oh, he still has the phone, but he can't call him even though it's been 2 years, but he's carrying this phone around even though he doesn't really need him. And Steve Killer does not care at all because despite Civil Wars being like, oh, he was my friend, so was I. No, he wasn't. And this movie just confirms that no, he wasn't. So, like, nobody can. Too many characters, not enough time. Pepperoni will forever be my favorite ship name, by the way. Makes me hungry and happy. Remember back in the day when it was simple and there was only one movie and we had time to develop all the things we wanted to develop? Good times. Yeah, I know. Like Steve. Although the Steve memes of like Steve going from first movie Steve to like bearded emo Steve now. Also, the fact that Chris Evans has that mustache right now for the other movie he's doing is making interviews so good. It's making everything so good for me. Oh, what? Hail Hydra? Are we talking about Hydra Cav? Oh. Guys, are the Netflix shows any good? Some of them. It depends. Like which one you want to know about. No Inhabited. You're too late. You're too late. Do I ship Steve and Bucky? Sometimes. It depends. Depends how it's written. Like you guys, I'm a multi-shipper. I will read most things. Like it's very hard for me to find something that I won't read. Porno stash makes life better. Yes, it does. I mean, no Inhabited. It's just everybody's been not feeling good to Mr. Stark. You know, Mr. Stark has a lot of people disintegrating on him right now. And that's the other thing, too. It's like we injured the hell out of Tony. And it was just like, but of course he still got to live. And I'm happy because I love Tony. But I'm just like, you know, if we wanted to just bring back the original crew, like, let's not pretend that that's not what we were doing. I just put up. What have you found that you won't read? I can't think of anything. Guys, spitfire some pairings at me and let's see. Oh. HAS, if these movies have anything to do with it, they'll just appear on Earth in the next one and we won't even bother because things that we set up in the last movies don't have to be addressed because they don't matter at all. Cryogenically frozen, who cares? Awake now, White Wolf. No, I've read all these. To Chucky. Like what sense? In an Iron Dad kind of way or in like the Starkers kind of way? I have read Starkers because I am going to do a video on it. I know people don't like when I do videos on controversial things, but I just find them fascinating and I like doing them. Like Thorky, some people are like, unsub, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, it's fascinating. There's no ship bashing or ship shaming on this channel. It's just an exploration of all kinds of ships. So that's how I like it. I like to explore all of the fandom because fandom is multifaceted and there's some parts for some people and some parts that are not for some people. And that's absolutely fine. 100%. So, who else wants a top Loki crossover pairings vid? Because I have found so many amazing crossover ships. I don't know why I'm whispering. I think my favorite one. Are you ready? Are you ready? Water weakens the saltiness. I think so. Are you ready for Loki and Daenerys? Are you ready for it? Because it's amazing. Oh, the more I looked into it, the more I was like, yes. Like, for me personally, I love the brother dynamic of Thor and Loki, and that's part of why this movie was so sad for me because I was like, we finally, and especially because Ragnarok handled it so well, and this one just kind of paid lip service to the fact that, yeah, they are actually brothers, which I really appreciate because that was always something they set up from the beginning that they did both care for each other. So yes, 100% to that. But it was gratuitous. It didn't need to happen. Like it solved nothing. And like how Thor escapes anyway, like it's just, I saw, you know what Harley Quinn pairing I saw? Harley Quinn and Tony Stark. I saw so many crossover ships when I was just chilling after Infinity War. I was just there scripting, and my husband was beside me playing his game, and I was like, "What do you think of this?" And he was just like implausible. I was like, "What about this?" And he was like, "That one works better," and it was kind of great. Yeah, I've seen the Shuri and Ross. I've seen T'Challa and Ross because there was a deleted scene where it really fleshed out what Ross was doing in that movie, aside from being token comic relief. And yeah, I've seen Loki and Nebula too. Yeah, I've heard the too old thing. Like, sit down. That man is aging like a nice cheese or a fine wine. Like, it's good. Everybody's looking good. Like, I have to say, like, nobody's looking unfortunate. Like, people are keeping they're looking good. I mean, RDJ looks fantastic, especially considering, like, not to be shady, because I really admire how he turned his life around, but especially for all the drugs he did. Like, he's turning out real well. Like, I've actually had a crush on RDJ my entire life. Like, literally my entire life. So why is there so much Don Cheadle shade? My friend thinks that too. They actually send somebody my friend actually sent me just a picture of a close-up of Don Cheadle because I don't believe that he's cracking. It was great. CGI can do a lot to DH people, guys. Come on, people be looking good. Yeah, okay, but Ruffalo's looking aged, but he looks like pleasant and approachable, like nice, and like, yeah, he looks like a dad who's got 3 kids, but what's wrong with that? That's cool. I like dads. I'm married to one, obviously. Oh, oh yeah. Remember, yeah, RDJ's butt. Remember when there was like a thing to like judge the booties? That was so funny, and people would just gift them. I missed that. That was so funny. How did these chats keep coming back to daddy? We need to stop. We need to stop. No. What happened to all our salt? Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Like, Clint shows up and just shoots arrows, chinks out all of the stones one by one, just blink, blink, blink. They're all out. We're all thirsty. Well, if there's one thing these movies are good at, it's quenching the thirst. I don't mind Josh Brolin as Thanos. I mean, again, when somebody's that heavily CG'd and stuff, it's fine. And I think his voice has a good gravitas for it, so I think it works. It seems like the cast has a good sense of humor, and that's what I like. You know, all of my salt, but all of this aside, this fandom is fun. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, even with all the sad, like, you got all the disintegration memes, and I don't feel good, Mr. Stark, and like everybody has fun fan theories, and they're making fiction and they're creating stuff. And yes, fandom. Like, this fandom is really fun. I love being in it. It doesn't get that salty all the time. I don't mean salty. I mean, like, it doesn't get as triggered about things. Like, even though even people who aren't thrilled like me, like, it's not like, oh my God, boycott all Marvel, like hashtag Marvelgate or anything like that. You know, it's just fine. It's fine. It's just like, at the end of the day, despite my salt, like, I had a good time. I'm glad this movie exists. I'm glad it happened. Of course, I'm gonna go keep seeing the next ones. And I hope they get better. And no matter what, I will always be glad that this happened. And I will always have fandom for the interim. And even if it doesn't fix things I want to fix, I will always have that. And I will always have this really cool universe of this thing that happened, that it's been 10 years of my life. Boop-a-doop, 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 boop. Yeah, fandom can be a great way to build communities, and it's so fun. And like, that's part of why I enjoy doing this live stream. Like, I see a lot of the same people every Tuesday, and it's so fun. Like, I love it. It's nice to chat about these things. What TNG character would I ship with Tony? Riker. No, but I don't want to inflict Deanna on him. Yeah, I do. Like, Super, I see you all the time. Like, you comment all the time. Like it's really nice. Data, yeah. Okay, side note. Has anybody else seen that the people are crushing on the Lost in Space robot from the new Netflix series? I'm so amused. I'm so amused. Oh, there are tons of new ones, Kate. And like they have, and it's also bolstering some older ones. It's building up on some headcanons. It's restarting the domestic Avengers. Some of the fix-its I've read have been beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. It's just, yeah, I know Blue Pulse will happen. It will happen, I swear. They want the robot booty. um I don't know. Like Thanos' character design isn't that uncrushable. Is it uncrushable? Remember when Crush was slang for, I was just about to say snooing, like Futurama, like sex slang is still a thing for sex. Like all the 90s songs, like I'm not a player, I just crush a lot and all that stuff. Do robots even have booties? Yes, they do. Robots got booty. Depends on the robot, but yeah. Fix it's more like fix us. Oh my gosh. Artemis, I agree. I love people love that section. I love her as the aunt. I had a hard time with her dyed eyebrows, but that's just me. I'm just always like dyed eyebrows. Robots. Yes. If I ever make a video about that, I want to take that robots. Have you seen Vision? He got booty. Oh, ro booty. Oh, this chat got amazing. This chat is so good. You see, we got all of this, even though we started with salt. Okay. I'm just trying to think if I've covered all of the things. Does anybody else love that like Wong just pieced out? He's like, I gotta protect the tower. I don't have time for all of this. I got real things to do. I love that we're all just Tina from Bob's Burgers right now, but writing our erotic friend fiction. It's just, I think part of it too is that, you know, it set up so much fun potential for like how these characters could interact and stuff. Does anybody else ship Steve and T'Challa? I don't know. I feel like Steve's been so flat for the last little bit, which is like unfortunate. I mean, can the next movie just be Pepper and Tony's wedding? It's my duty to fleece that booty. Vision is Tony's sex bot. I am sure that is a fic somewhere. I'm sure somebody's written that. I'm sure it's on the kink meme for sure. Oh, the kink meme is going to be insane after this. I'm going to have to go check that kink meme. So, how dare you, Steve? I'm not talking about how he looks, Aussie nerd. I'm talking about his like character portrayal. WandaVision and Tony Threes. I like T'Challa. I really do. Like I like T'Challa and I wish he had more to do. Like there's probably some underlying reasons why he hasn't become the fandom bicycle that aren't like the most pleasant to think about, but at the same time, like, okay, Chadwick Boseman never looks like he wants to be anywhere. Even at the Met Gala, he barely looked like he wanted to be there. I was looking at the pictures and I was like, oh, he almost looks like he wants to be there. Chad, I love you. What can I do to make you want to be places? Michael B. Jordan. Oh, Killmonger. Michael B. Jordan's acting for me is always really flat, which is unfortunate because I thought the Killmonger character was interesting. And also, again, don't kill villains when there's more you can do with them. Like, just, this isn't the 90s anymore. Please stop killing people. Just please stop. I feel like half this cast wants to run for the hills. Can you imagine like dedicating that much of your life to playing like the one character and everybody is stopping you as it, and it's just people call you out in the streets like you're in a soap opera, like you're Scarlett Johansson walking down the street and people are like, Black Widow. Just Okay, X Ross. Yeah, probably. I've read all the things. Yeah, I've seen the Black Panther with M'Baku. I feel like if you and I did a conversation about Marvel, we'd have a fist fight, a virtual fist fight. Why? I feel like we're both equally salty. Is T'Challa's sister a Disney princess? If Loki is a Disney prince, then of course Shuri is a Disney princess. And I am here for Disney Prince Loki, so I'm here for Disney Princess Shuri 100%. Yeah, I know. Like, I think that would be odd. Like, I love fandom 100%, and I tend to lean towards being on the side of the fans, even though I full on acknowledge that a lot of times things can go too far, way too far. But at the same time, I can't imagine what it would be like to be just that inundated with it all the time, especially with something like Marvel, where it's just like you would be constantly spammed with it all the time, and that must be tiring in a way that I think few people will experience. Just, hard. Hi, potato. Why were you upset by the Tony not calling Steve? Like, will I open this flip phone? Will I not open this flip phone? I've kept it charged on me for 2 years because he broke my heart, because he lied to me for all that time, because I didn't do research to finding out this information that was really easily obtainable. Is Thor a Disney princess? Absolutely. Does everybody remember like the Thoriel memes from back in the day? Thoriel because he's worth it. I mean, those were so good. I loved it. I actually found a giant wheel of all the different product memes that somebody had made with Loki. I'll need to find it and post it to my Twitter if I can find it again. It was really funny. I know Stony is like hardcore revived, which is very enjoyable for me. Like it's hardcore revived, and like Stucky's experiencing a bit of a resurgence too. But there's also that disappointment because people were so looking forward to them having way more stuff. Whereas like Steve and Tony in the Marvel universe, the MCU rather, have always not been getting their stuff together and been torn apart by angst and stuff. So really, this was just a continuation of the way things always are for them, despite the "we were friends." Yeah, I'm doing a super family update, actually. That's one of the things I'm working on. Like I have so many, I like doing the headcanon theaters partially because they're shorter, because I'm working on finding a place to get my daughter into daycare so that I can do not full-time, but just part-time, so I can pump out more shorter vids on top of everything, because mama gotta go back to work for a little bit. Mama misses adults a little, even though this is great. I'm talking with people of all ages, including adults. Let me see. Yeah, Groot's like last time Groot was dad. It's just again, like did anybody see that article with the Russos where they were like, we used purposeful misdirect marketing to make it seem like certain people would be doing certain things to throw off fans? And I was like, okay, firstly, every trailer does that. Y'all ain't slick. That's not something new. Like, calm down. And two, why are you saying that? Like, it's a good thing, and like we should be happy about it, because I'm not. Oh yeah, two Sherlocks. Did anybody realize they're doing the next Sherlock movie? Did anybody still want that? Does anybody want that third Sherlock movie? Because I didn't need it. I'm like, not really. I mean, yes, I throw all the shade. This is where the shade lives. The shade is here in the live stream. It does not live in the videos, because the vids are about exploring everything for everybody and how everybody feels about it. And that's the way I like to keep them. Because Infinity War opened up so many interesting things for headcanons and ships. And that's going to be really fun to explore. And so has the press tour and all the stuff surrounding it. I mean, the Shuri Peter ship was born from a press tour. It hasn't been born from any actual interaction yet. So it's very, very fascinating to see how all of this is playing out. And there's going to be such a huge gap in between this and the next one that it's going to be great to see how the fandom explodes and what pairings surge, what ones fall, how people address it. And I'm excited. I am very excited. I'm excited for all of it. I'm looking forward to it. The fandom part, like it'll probably take maybe another month or so. Maybe after I see Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'll be into it again. But just right now, I'm just it's like the Justice League times 100 because I actually had expectations for this one. I think Super now, like that's going to happen in the next one because she did say that they were Letitia, like she did say that they were going to have like a scene. So that'll probably happen later in the next one. Speaking of Chris's, I think my favorite interview was Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston interviewing each other, where they were he was asking him which Chris he would fight, and he was like he would fight all the Chris's so that he could be the only Chris, and I just thought that was super cute. Were my expectations subverted? I don't think they were subverted. Like again, it's weird because I can't say, okay, this is going to make no sense, but like I can't say that I'm disappointed because I feel that what they did makes sense for what they wanted to do. But I just feel that based on all of the other threads they set up from the rest of their universe, they let down a lot of their own storytelling and potential development, if that makes any sense at all. Does it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense anymore. I have no idea. There can be only one Chris. There can be only one Chris Pine. They're looking to make 2 more Star Treks, by the way. So plenty more Captain Mighty Fine Pine, as we used to call him back in the day. Captain Mighty Fine Pine. The Soulstone reveal was so disappointing. Oh. I wanted Peter meeting him. Yeah, if they get Chris Pine into it, like, can we just collect all the Chris's? Like, they're like Pokemon cards. Gotta get all the Chris's we can have. We'll expand out past even these currently famous Chris's. Just grab all of the Chris's. Just a movie that's all Chris. Okay, have a good day at work, Kyle. Or night, I don't know. Who would I cast Chris Pine as? Himself. No, he just shows up. Hannah, we can put your dad in there too. Just every Chris. We just start grabbing Chris's off the street and pulling them into these movies. Chris Pine is the Human Torch. We finally incorporate Fantastic Four, maybe put them in a movie that's not terrible. I just want a non-terrible Fantastic Four movie in my life. That would be great. Christopher Walken. Guys, you guys are making me cough. I saw Shuri X Bucky pop up as a thing, and people got upset about it. Oh, also, I need to do an update on Spidey Pool. That needs to be a thing. I was planning an update for a while when Tom Holland first got cast because of all of the turmoil that threw the Spidey Pool community into. I think probably post Deadpool 2 will be a good time. Oh, can I tell you an embarrassing Deadpool 2 story for you guys, just for the live stream peeps? It's not that embarrassing. So I bought advanced tickets to it because I'm ready to go. But I misread the dates as May 8th, even though it's May 18th. And like, I guess I forgot how time works. So I showed up to the theater 2 weeks early, just there trying to pick up my tickets, and then got to wait 2 weeks. And I had to play it real cool. Just be like, yo, I'm totally here to see Bad Samaritan, which I really do want to see, but it started like an hour later. So I didn't end up going to that either. So I didn't even get to see David Tennant. It was just sad day. But I went to the bookstore, and actually that's the day that I went to the bookstore and bought about half the bookstore, because I guess I was just full of angst about not getting to see a movie, because it was like I got a babysitter and everything. Oh, I got a babysitter, you guys, and went to a movie theater for a movie that wasn't happening. Yes, I've seen stuff for a Bucky and Loki ship. Yeah, I want to do a lot more headcanon theaters for all the people talking about the different headcanons. Like I really do. I have so many like side things that I do on my channel that I want to get more into. Like I think that we're getting there. Like I think that I'm consistently starting to post more on the schedule that makes a bit kind of sense, and I think it's making sense a little bit, at least. I hope it's making sense. Yeah, Bruce X Thor. I've seen that for a while. Am I a Doctor Who fan? Yeah, yeah, I'm a Doctor Who fan. I like Doctor Who. I'm a big sci-fi fan in general. I love sci-fi as a genre. So most sci-fi things I'm into in some level or another. Favorite Doctor? Fifth. Fifth Doctor. What is my schedule? My schedule is whenever my daughter sleeps. My schedule is posting at least once a week, with conversations consistently being on the weekend and hopefully getting other stuff out in between. That is the goal. That is the dream that I work towards, and it happens. And also now having the weekly live stream, which is kind of good, and it keeps me consistent, and it gives me something to look forward to every week. And also, did you know they're making a Bright 2? Like, why is that happening? Interesting conversations in the future, Sammy. They're all interesting. No, I've got lots of interesting ones. Yeah, the one I'm editing right now is actually about being a fan artist, drawing fan art, and when people feel that you shouldn't be drawing fan art in a certain fandom. So I was talking to a fan artist who's had that happen to them. So it was an interesting chat, and I'm looking forward to it. Like. Oh, super. Just email me. Like, that's it. Like, it's just getting in touch with me via email and then trying to set up a date that makes sense. I have a huge backlog. I feel bad because some people I filmed their stuff months ago and I still haven't posted it just because of how I've been putting them out one week, like one a week at a time. So oh no, Jason Todd is shipped with a lot of people. Like especially Dick Grayson, which Miles may vary, but that's a big one. And Tim as well. That's another big one. Let me see what y'all saying. No, Denton, that happens a lot. Yeah, no, I like the Red Hood cartoon where Jensen Ackles was voicing, and then they were doing a fan cast, or maybe if they did it, then he would do it. But I mean, Jensen Ackles will be working on Supernatural for the rest of his life, so he can't do anything else. That's paying for his brewery and all of his kids going to college and everything. He's making that kid college money. So, and good for him. Good for him. Also, he found the Fountain of Youth, and I would like him to direct me to it if he would be so kind. I did enjoy Scooby Natural. I do. I did. I like crossovers, and I thought that one was cute and cleverly handled. We need to protect Jason. I guess if there's one thing, I mean, I'm now a bit more. Am I more excited for the DC EU? No, I'm not. Let's not pretend. Is anybody else worried about like Marvel burnout now? Like for realsies? Like, are you worried that people are going to burn out? Or like, okay, I'll ask you guys because most of you guys really enjoyed it. So this is a better question for you. Are you more excited now? Like, are you more excited for what the future is coming? Are you here for phase 4 and on and like after? Because they say they're planning movies to like 2025. So, or how do you feel about that? Oh, really? Yes. I just want it to be over. It will never be over. The one thing that's kind of interesting, though, I guess, is that it's almost like seeing comics happen in like on the big screen, which is kind of cool, but then at the same time also highlights lots of the issues with comics simultaneously. Deeper Steve or Steve Strange, Steve or Strange for Tony. Oh, do I prefer? No, they're both interesting in their own ways. Like they both present very unique ships that are very interesting. How can you not be excited about an ant on the drums? Monsters and musicals, like I don't agree with what James Cameron said about like, oh, like I'm tired of all these hyper macho male movies. And I'm like, okay, look, like they have more of an appeal than that. So sit down, James. But also, I do miss that there were because okay, so Super, it's kind of like his comics kind of stay in their own niche, it feels like, but these movies, some people argue that they're taking up space from other movies being made, which I definitely think is an argument that could be, yeah, because they make so much money. So I get why people would feel annoyed. Because for example, okay, you know that Amy Schumer movie? And like, let's take a, doesn't matter how you feel about Amy Schumer, whether you think she's funny or not. But the Amy Schumer movie that she made, I Feel Pretty. It has been packed with ladies up here, just ladies going. And I'm just like, all this proves to me is not that Amy Schumer is funny, but that this is a demographic that's not being served. This is a demographic that is not being served, and that we're missing out on a bunch of other demographics that people want to see different types of movies too. And I do too. I love a vast array of different types of movies that I would love to see. Like I actually really like also like artsy, like has anybody here seen Stoker? Like I love movies like that. Stoker is one of my favorite movies, by the way. My brother is watching Captain America Civil War on the phone next to me. So I miss hand-drawn animation too. I love 3D, but I also love 2D. I want both. I want a beautiful, magical world. That's part of why I'm excited for the Teen Titans Go movie. Like aside from that, I'm just like 2D animation. It's beautiful. I want to see RDJ in something different. I do miss seeing him in different things too, but I mean, he's balancing his time between this and Exton. I mean, how old is Exton now? I'm a creepy person who knows things about celebrities' personal lives. It's just because I read a lot of articles. Do you want anybody to be permanently dead? Only if it would improve the narrative in some capacity. If there was a death that, it's okay. I like to compare it to Jason Todd's death and resurrection. So Jason Todd died, and let's take away all of the drama about the falsified vote and everything that led to his demise. He died, even though there are more stories to tell. But following that point, what they did with him being dead was very transformative to Batman's character, and they really worked with it. Now, fast forward, and now Jason's alive. They told one fantastic story with that, one amazing one. And now there have been a bunch of kind of lukewarm and kind of okay, and now they don't know what to do with it. Now it's just like, oh, I don't know. That's how I feel about these deaths. I'm like, okay, did we just do them? Is this a thing that we did for shock value? Like, and they're just going to come back and just be like, that was a thing that happened because it was so serious. Just I'd like to see Miles. Like, yeah, I see you guys talking about Miles Morales over there. I'd like to see Miles, but I just really don't, if he doesn't show up, I don't want there to be any fallout about it because Peter Parker's story is so not done. Why so serious? Why so serious? I need to see Batman Ninja still. Come on, guys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Ghost, so much. You missed so much salt. You've missed like an hour of salt. I was amused because actually, like, Daenerys x Jon Snow was something that I was like low-key predicting from like book one. So I was just like, woo. When you're playing shipping bingo, which isn't, that's not what my husband and I call it, but we like to come out of shows or movies and be like, so top ship? Yeah. 2 hours of snow. Side note, these headphones actually don't do anything. I just like not being able to hear myself so intensely. So have we discussed Infinity War to death? Is there anything we didn't talk about? What haven't we talked about? I feel like we've just scraped every ounce of meat from the Infinity War, but just tell me. Tell me, is there anything else you guys want to chat about? Do we need to talk about like the Hulk? Do we need to talk about how like the lack of Hulk rather? Do we need to talk about Scarlet, which is like huge power uptake, or how she now hates her costume for some reason, even though it's not that bad? Like, what do we need to talk about? Oh, what the Black Order, Alan? For aesthetic. Yeah, I'm so cool. I'm like a kid from the early 2000s. How is Tony getting back to Earth? Slowly. Or again, like I said earlier in the Salt Fest, they're just going to skip it. Like, we don't need to deal with stuff if we can just fast forward and it's already happened. That blonde hair. Why was her hair blonde? Is she doing something else? I mean, she's not. She's a brunette right now. So I'm just like, again, was it because they were hiding? Because we didn't address what was going on in the 2 years. Also, they kind of, I don't know, the way it felt to me at the end of Civil War was that Black Widow was kind of the more reasonable one who was like, yeah, y'all are both dumb. I'm going to go hang out with Steve because arguably he's going to be in the more dangerous situation, but it's not that I don't like you anymore, Tony. It's just that they're going to be having danger and I'm here for that. I want an entire movie of Nebula and Tony's wacky journey across the universe. That would be amazing. Can you imagine? Nobody else is in it. They don't address it. They go to like the Ben and Jerry's and get ice cream and he introduces her to all his favorite flavors. Next year, Black Widow's hair is going to be a rainbow. Wakanda TV show to world build. Wakanda TV show where they finally get that Starbucks, where Okoye gets her Starbucks. It's just her ordering all the different frappuccinos off the menu. That would be amazing. Can we just have like all of these really domestic nonsense things happen? That would be so fun. I really would enjoy that. I don't know. I don't know if this serious tone works for me. I would love it if we saw like people inside of it, Sarita. That would be great. Like that would be really cool. Oh yeah, Wanda doesn't. She's not Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle anymore. She got tired of doing it. It doesn't matter. I remembered now. Okay. So what this reminded me of is remember when Quicksilver was a thing when he was briefly alive and they yeah, I know Russo addresses a lot of things. Again, it's like the J.K. Rowling of the Marvel universe. We can just address it all in post, right? I mean, if we fix it in post, then it's not like it happened. But I remember when Quicksilver was a thing and then he died and everybody was like, oh my god, no, there's gonna be he's going to come back because they wouldn't just have him there for no reason. Like that would be narratively lazy. Like there's no way he would just be there for like, and then that's exactly what happened because we all gave them too much credit. Credit where credit's due. That's all I'm saying. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you, Anas. Let's get back to the fun domestic. I saw some fun fan art of all of them taking a nap together, inspired by the Thor, Loki, and the director taking a nap from the. I can't. Yes, there'll be more Once Upon a Time videos. Yes, there will. In my dreams, I dream of Oh, thank you, Super. I'm just wearing lipstick, but thank you. In my dreams, I dream of doing a Once Upon a Time rewatch for all of the beauty that was Once Upon a Time. Oh yeah, don't worry. We're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff in our Grindelwald discussion. It's gonna be fascinating. I'd say midway through that edit, but like I said, I edit in when my daughter sleeps. So I'm actually not editing now, but I did a ton today, so I don't feel guilt. And also, I wouldn't miss this for the world. I mean, I love this. Are you disappointed once was canceled? Not really. I'm not surprised. I mean, they did a pretty good job trying to reboot it like they did, and it was okay, but it still had a lot of the problems that the later seasons of once had, which was, the instant reveals, using the flashbacks to reveal, Chekhov's guns and MacGuffins that they needed for that very episode, stuff like that. What comics am I currently reading? Batman, White Knight. I have a couple of things on order that are coming to me, and what I'm reading right now, it's actually right here. And it's season 8, and I am doing it. This Queens of Geek. There's this really cool publishing company called Swoon Reads that publishes a lot of YA and especially fandom related stuff, where it's actually a publishing service where you can join and help them pick manuscripts that get published. So anyway, if you're interested in that, it's really cool, and you get a lot of interesting YA, and there's lots of stuff about fandom. Like I said, there's lots of there's queer romance, there's all kinds of stuff that you might not see otherwise because like I said, people vote, so it's really cool. Current OTPs, like what am I reading right now? Yes, I'm going to do Just Dale moments. What am I reading right now? What was I reading? Oh, some old Snoopin' stuff because of the Grindelwald. So that kind of got me low-key back into the Harry Potter fandom. Oh, I do have, that's what I have on order. I have a bunch of Loki comics actually from some of the older Loki arcs that I've got. Oh, and Doctor and the Master, but not the one you think. Anime ships you want to cover? Oh yeah. Okay, look. Narusasu, the monster of a video that will be, is something that I do want to do. Hetalia, people have been asking for that for a long time. Again, there are Hetalia ships I want to do. The L and Light moments. I didn't watch those OVAs for nothing. I didn't watch them for nothing. No, okay, you're partly right. Ainley and 10. Think about it. I don't know why I said it like that. Also, there's somebody who's like always like, I want to see your tongue. So I guess if they're here, they got to see it. So that's a thing. Yeah. Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't like it, and every time I do it, I lose subs, but I'm kind of at the point where I really, I want to increase the amount that I produce on this channel just because I really enjoy it and I love diving into all aspects of fandom, but I have so many Otome games that I want to play. I really like playing them. I really do. And they're more fun to play with you guys because then we make the choices together, and that's so much more fun than making the choices on your own. And like the one we're playing right now has been so fun. Even the last time that I had the music too loud and I'm just super sad. Like I don't have that Markiplier skill, guys. No, I haven't played Stardew Valley. The thing is, and I've said this in multiple conversations, so you'll hear it again, like I'm not the best technical gamer, and that's not me putting myself down. Like it's just a fact. So I prefer more story-based games. Oh, Inuyasha, that takes you back. What is your hobby? Well, it used to be this. Now this is like, this is more than a hobby. Painting my nails because I'm girly like that. I collect. I know. Okay, Demi, it turned down. At half an hour, it turned down. We turned it down. Somebody told me. Nobody told me at the beginning, but it got quieter. So trust me, am I holosexual? I like holos. I'm not obsessed with them. I like all different types of stuff. Like right now, yeah, I would do platonic stuff for sure. Like right now, this. Like look at this. Why would anybody have this? It's hideous, and I love it. Have you cosplayed? No, but it's something I wanted to. Oh, I always have like. It's not crazy, but I always have really dyed hair though. Last year my hair was pink at the time of our con up here, and I went. No, it was the year before because I was pregnant last year, so I didn't go. So the year before when I went, somebody stopped me because my hair was pink, and they were like, "Can I take a picture of you?" Oh, you're not cosplaying. Never mind. It was amazing. How do you feel about the new Solo Star Wars movie? I'm gonna go see it, but I'm not excited. Like, I don't know. Like, what happened to my excitement, you guys? Why aren't I excited about things? Like, here I am excited about the killing of a sacred deer and all of these horror movies and stuff, and I'm just not excited about it as much of the fandom stuff as I used to be. I mean, I still am, but I just mean like that pumped, like I need to be there on opening night. Like, it's not as intense. What do you think? I would love to do a vid just on Bro TPs. What do you think about the upcoming Teen Titans live action show? I don't know. Like, I haven't seen it, and like it's hard to judge from on set photos. I know some people are like, look at this on set photo, terrible. And I'm like, okay, like I need to see it. Like, I can't just take a picture and be like, look at that with no effects or anything placed on it. It's awful. Were you excited for Infinity War? Not as much as some of the other ones, to be honest, but I was looking forward to it. Yeah, like I mean, I had to have been excited. I watched the red carpet. Who does that? Who live streams a red carpet? Me. Are you done with the DCEU? Never. Never. Although I'm totally like, did you read that cliched explanation for what is going to be Aquaman's movie, where it's just like it's going to be a tale of two brothers? I'm like, no. No. Yeah, no, I'm gonna see Deadpool 2 when it comes out. I'm actually gonna go at the right time now if I take it. The only thing is now I can't take my husband anymore. I'll take my brother though. That'll be fine. We'll have fun. We'll still have fun. That's an interesting statement. I feel like the deeper I get into fandom, the less excited I am for the actual canon material. That's not always the case for me. I think I just need more fandoms again. I'm like a fandom machine. I'm in so many different fandoms. I think I just need to cycle back through some of the others and reread some older fics too. Like I actually kind of want to do like what I did for once for season 1, like a lost event, like a lost MCU ships. I think that would be fun because actually, even though people don't think about them anymore, they're not actually lost. Like, do you know how many people still write Clintasha? That is still a huge thing. Huge. And Clinton Coulson, like all of these things are still happening and you haven't seen them together in forever. Yes, I watch Gotham. I do. That Nick Marvel Pot video is actually probably I think June or July. I'm not sure. Like Supercorp I'm also working on, so whichever one I finish gathering stuff for first will be that one. I don't know how to feel about that Jeremiah stuff. I don't know how to feel about Gotham half the time. I don't know how I feel. If you like Gotham, we can't be friends. Gotham is confused. Gotham is very confused it's still confused about what it wants to be doing. It was confused when it started and it is still confused. Oh, it doesn't know. It doesn't know. But at the same time, like sometimes it's interesting how it twists some of the things and it clearly knows what's happening in comics. And sometimes it's also clearly trying, but I don't know if it always succeeds in its trying, but I don't know. Are you watching any anime right now? What am I watching? Last one. No. Yes, but I can't remember if that makes any sense. I watch a lot of things though. So it's not like it wasn't good. It's just, I had to stop in the middle because I was doing something else and because it wasn't dubbed. And when I have the baby, like I can't always take as much time to watch things that are subbed. If Gotham is still confused, then I'm not watching. The confusion is part of the experience of watching Gotham. That is part of what you were watching for. Yeah, Steins Gate. I enjoyed Steins Gate. I actually also want to play Steins Gate too. I haven't seen Violet Evergarden yet. Not yet. Would I watch the Law and Order version of Zootopia? Probably. Yeah, I've watched Attack on Titan. I've studied it more than watched it though because of the the cultural impact it had, especially in its country of origin and the surrounding countries. I find that especially fascinating. It's not something that fully translated over here. So that's a phenomenon I find particularly interesting, especially how it resonated with people who were just slightly a bit younger than me. So that was really cool to see. And all of the things that people read into it, that was really interesting. Season 2 of what? Gotham? or of Attack on Titan. Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't even, okay, Tamara, like, I don't even know what they're doing. They don't know what they're going to do with Gotham. They're still like, Jeremiah's not the Joker either. Like, we don't know what we're doing. Even though Jerome totally was, but wasn't. Like, what are we doing? We don't know. Somebody asked earlier about Starmora. So like, what about it? Just like how it happened? Like, I have nothing against Starmora at all. It just, again, like everything in this, it felt very rushed. It felt very much like, yeah, they had built up to the fact that they liked each other. It was like, I love you, kill me. Oh, I'm dead now, except I'm not. I'm in the Soul Stone. Peter, you should wreck the entire universe. Oh, I know, the secret twin. You know you're watching something confused when they pull the secret twin. Although, props to the actor whose name is eluding me at the moment, because of course it is when I actually need it. He makes those two performances very distinct, and that's great. I actually like his acting a lot. How do you feel about Jessica Jones this season? Eh, eh. I don't like it as much as the first season. What will your next live stream be about? I don't even know. I mean, how can we top spoiling the spoil Infinity War spoil? I don't know. Where you want to talk about? I don't know what you guys want to talk about. Reading it was enough, Alan. I mean, especially up here, like Margaret Atwood is one of our authors, and we promote her quite heavily. Like, I've read most of Atwood's work. The Handmaid's Tale actually isn't my favorite. My favorite is Oryx and Crake. I love Oryx and Crake. The only thing is that, of course, she's one of those authors. She's like Kurt Vonnegut in that she doesn't like to be associated with science fiction. She feels she's too good for it. She writes speculative fiction because that's fiction that could actually have some bearing in reality, unlike science fiction, which she feels is very like kitsch and like she's stuck in that definition of like science fiction from like the 1950s with giant robots and fly heads and stuff. And I'm kind of like, look, it was a science fiction book and it was a fantastic one. It was also speculative fiction, but we're really splitting hairs with those definitions. Like, don't be arrogant. Calm down. Yes, I've seen Marmalade Boy, and I like Kurt Vonnegut too. I know, I don't like when people, like, it's hard. It's like, okay, so I was talking about The Watchmen once, and I called it a graphic novel, and he like Alan Moore doesn't particularly like that term, and so someone was like, if you can't address his work by what he calls it, which is a comic, then you're not fit to talk about it. I'm like, look, okay, sometimes a thing is what it is. Like, The Watchmen is a graphic novel. It has chapter excerpts. It has all kinds of stuff that place it more in the formatting style of a graphic novel than a comic. So I was kind of like, I'm sorry that he doesn't like the term. I really am. And I'm sorry about all the issues he had. And like, I'm sure he's just hating that new Watchmen Brooklyn thing, but it doesn't stop it from being a graphic novel. I'm sorry. Can we all agree that Infinity War would be 10 times better if Cap didn't wear a shirt? There are lots of people who didn't need to be wearing a shirt. Equality for all, no shirts. Bring back the Dorito memes. What graphic novels are my favorite? Let me turn. Okay, I'm going to turn around here just because I'm looking at them. Oh, and I'm blind now. My light is blinding me. What's up there? What on earth is up there? Oh, I can't even see. I have one called Blankets that I really like. And yeah, I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine a lot. Hashtag no shirts 2018. I like that people are finally catching on to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Not to be a hipster, but I was like, I was watching since the beginning, and now all of a sudden they're like, it's the best show ever. And I was like, I knew that, but I can't say that because only hipsters say that. I like the other one he wrote too. I have both of them up there. I have like yeah, I have a Thanos no shirt quality content. I thought we were done thirsting over Thanos in this chat. Like we went from Thanos to robot butts, and I thought that we were done. I thought we were having a wholesome daddyless chat about shirtless people. Oh, bro. Yeah, no, like it's still the year of Fem Slash, as slow as I am about everything. I'm just slow, guys. I'm just really slow. This will never be entirely wholesome. No, it won't. Fandom is not entirely wholesome. It would be disingenuous for this to be an entirely wholesome chat. It came back because shirtless. Mm-hmm. Okay, so finally, have we picked apart Infinity War? Oh, I guess I didn't ask you guys. Is there anybody you don't want to come back? Like anybody you're glad is dead? You're like, they're dead and I'm glad. Like, is there anybody for any of you that like that? I need to know. Avengers 4 Daddy War. Stop. Sharon. The Sharon hate. It's not her fault, guys. They wrote her back. Why the shit? Maria, actually Maria, yeah, Maria Hill. Uh Drax, what did Drax do to you? Oh yeah, Nick Fury's assistant is Maria. Yeah. Did anybody see that there was an update on the Galaga guy? Like, why do people care? I didn't even think the Galaga guy joke was that great. It was so Whedon. Like, I'm not a Joss Whedon hater by any means, but a lot of times his jokes, time and place. Time and place. That's how I am with humor. Time and place. Just so you don't know, I'm a bummer at comedies. I'm a bummer. Like I love to laugh, as you probably know. Like I like to laugh, and I think a lot of things are funny, and I'm the first to laugh at a ton of stuff that a lot of people don't want to laugh at. But you take me to an actual comedy that's supposed to be a comedy. No, don't do it. Hashtag blame Quill. I know. Quill, why? He earned his disintegration. He earned it. And his oh man was nothing compared to I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. I don't want to go. I don't want you to go either, Tom. Also, he hit puberty hard. I mean, I don't mean that in like, ooh, he's hot now. I just mean like he's clearly aged and worked out a lot since the last film. Salt slash sweet. Sweet. No, because the whole galaxy is at stake. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Spock it up. We gotta spock it up sometimes. Especially like when you're a superhero or Guardians of the Galaxy, or like there's so much more at stake. Like, no. Yeah, I did hear about the casting call. Oh, I know her fake kids because we're gonna house them it up. Please. Please. Black Order, I know, like they sure were there. That was a thing that happened. Copy lover, I'm not sad. I'm not sad. Do you believe there was a some of the deaths will be permanent? Maybe. Like maybe Loki. I can see them leaving Loki and then maybe recasting with like Kid Loki or something else. Maybe. There are a couple of people who maybe if they're too busy, like they said that Idris Elba's tapping out. Like, you know, he's done. There are a couple people who I can see like they got other things to do and they're too busy and they're just not gonna come back. Okay, but yeah. Oh, there are tons. I can't give you any recs though. I'm sorry. Did you think Vision was kind of weak in this movie? I just think he didn't have a lot to do because he had to carry their romance like the entire way through. Like, Wanda, it's been 2 years and we didn't address this because we didn't have time, because there was no film in between. There was no Captain America 4 that could have been Captain America. That, again, like all Captain America movies, doesn't really deal with Cap except for the first one to solve everybody else's problems but his. Yeah, I know. Like Captain and Falcon taking down the Black Order, I was kind of like, I hope Bucky stays at AZ. You in danger, girl. He could have, but it's just they didn't want to write, because if you have those stones, you're essentially invincible, and then the movie would be over in 2 seconds. But instead, we can make a big deal about how it was almost the thing from the comics. How much longer am I streaming for? I don't know. It's 11 o'clock here. My husband just peeked out. I think he's lonely, so I don't know how much longer I'll be going for. We'll see. I think we've tapped out, so I'm just kind of running through all of the things, but we shall see. I'm not here for, like, I can understand when a person doesn't like a character and they explore the like the negative aspects. Like, that's totally fine. Like, for example, like I like Tony, but I love to read fics where people are like, Tony is an egotistical jerk and he needs to check himself. And I'm like, yes, also true. So I enjoy that as well. I don't like when people bash characters because they want to get another ship together or because they feel they're in the way or something like that. Like, that's not something I'm here for. Like, for example, when you're reading I don't know, like let's say you're reading a Stony fic, or actually this happens a lot more with Winter Iron, like, so Tony and Bucky, and then Steve will just be like a raging jerk, and I'm like, okay, like Steve has some negative traits that you could emphasize to like deal with some stuff, but they just make him like ridiculous. I actually have like a Nat pregnant headcanon thing that I had from after Civil War, that I was just like a fic. You know, when you write fics in your own head? Like, I just had a fic that I wrote in my own head. It was a way for her to stay at the Avengers side with Tony and stuff like that. And like, I'll tell you about it. It's super lame. So it's like how she wasn't supposed to be able to get pregnant, but she does. And father is not like really in the thing for my scenario. It doesn't matter. It can be whoever you want it to be. But she needs help with the pregnancy, and so she goes to Tony for it. Like, yeah, I know she could go to Wakanda and stuff like that, but I like to think that her and Tony have a bit more of a bond because of how much better she knows him and all the time she spent with him through Iron Man 2 and stuff like that. So she goes there and they end up like staying with each other, bonding with each other. Like, Vision gets like tons of cute Vision geeking out over pregnant Nat and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm cheesy, you guys. I'm so cheesy. If the gauntlet doesn't work anymore, that's lame. One use. One wish only. You don't even get 3. One wish. I know. Like, if I could like write fics without having massive anxiety about it, I would write that fic because I need it. I just need like tons of little friendship fics. Like, I like gen fics a lot, and there's not a lot out there. Yeah, I have some Funko Pop stuff. Snapchat. I think they'll just continue it anyway, and they can do the unstable Wanda thing real easy. I mean, she's lost so many people at this point. I mean, so is Thor. Like, we can just fridge all the people we need for cheap emotional pathos, right? And then if we need to, we can always write them back in or not. It depends. I mean, maybe we won't have enough time. I know, super. I'm not okay. I'll be okay next week, I swear. Oh no, my thing. I need to stop moving. It's autofocus. I've got an autofocus webcam. I need that fic of Thor trying to hang a picture frame. That sounds good. Wanda is an interesting character. I've always liked the Scarlet Witch. So if they do more with her, that would be fantastic. I'm here. Yeah, I like the idea of the science characters getting together. I need all the science characters in the room, and that was something I was missing from the Tony Steven interaction. Just like the two of them, like you're magic and I'm science, and and also their facial hair bros because they got the same facial hair, and that's super cute. All of you Sharon people over here, leave Sharon alone. She's just trying to be, and the writers wouldn't let her because they killed her good with that funeral flirting scene. Now I need a shaving fic with Tony and Steven. Thanks. Can the cape be shaving them? Is that what we're going to be doing here? Like, it's hard to incorporate mutants. Even in the regular comic verse, they struggle sometimes. I wanted to see so many character interactions. Even when they were on screen together, there was stuff that I wanted to see that didn't happen for a lot of people, again, because we had to jam so much action in there. And even the action we had in there, I didn't feel fully came to fruition. So it's just. I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. I don't even know. I'm guys. This is after I waited 2 weeks to do this chat, by the way. Favorite scene. Okay, that I can do. Okay, let's think. Let's be positive and think about the favorite scene. Favorite. Okay, probably the Peter Quill and Thor scene. That made me smile. That made me smile a lot. And like also the low key, I'm kind of Parks and Rec reference was cute. And I enjoyed that scene. And like the Guardians were all tonally on point, and like Thor was on point, and it was just, it was solid scene. Salt never makes for good fuel. Is it the best movie to date? In my opinion, no. And I mean, I know, take my massive amounts of salt aside. Even in my opinion, no, not for the crossover ones. I do think that for everything, Civil War was a stronger crossover than this. I mean, I know it had much less characters and stuff in it to deal with, but I think that it centralized its focus better. And because it actually dealt with a lot of the things that have been built up, it played with Tony's PTSD. It dealt with the Bucky and Steve friendship. It brought in the side characters that had been led up to in the other films. It introduced a new character to be, to jump off onto, and like 2 more characters to be jumped off onto. I think it did a lot better at what this film is also doing. And that one also had a lot of action in it, but it also had time to talk. And even though, even though, like they say, Steve and Tony were never friends, but even though they still took the time to talk as if they were, and they dealt with it. They dealt with more in that one. I think that movie's a lot stronger. I think that's a stronger movie than this one for sure. 100% any day. Like that one has its flaws too, but I think in terms of a massive crossover that's trying to deal with, a big comic book plot the same way this one is, I think that one does it better. I really do. I know that this one has a bigger plot and everything, but again, also that one had, even if you think about it, less time to set up than this one did when they introduced Thanos way before, and they just haven't built up to it. So yeah, that's how I feel. How much of a good boy was Peter on a scale from 1 to 10? Yeah, I hope they talk too. I mean, the original Avengers reunion. Steve Tony hug anybody? Dad Tony for Kid Loki. So I guess I should ask, what should we talk about next time? I need to know, what do we want to talk about? I mean, this was an easy topic to pick, but what should we do for next time? Like, I have some of my own like ideas, but like, what should we talk about? Star Trek. I feel like I'm the only Trekkie here, though. Like, I don't want to force my Trekness on you guys. Daddies, no, okay. No, you get out of here with your daddies. One Tree Hill. Oh my gosh, there's a flashback. Oh, there's a blast from the past. Speaking of what, I was actually watching a movie today that had James Van Der Beek in it. And I was like, oh man, I'm a kid again. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone with the Trek, you guys. You're cheering me up. Merpug, stop. Stop. Old-timey ships I like just because I like the name of it. I think people would tune in and be like, old-timey ships? What are you talking about? Sharon hate. Doomed ships. Ooh, the oldie. Okay. I see a lot of fun suggestions. I'll think about it. We might end up Harry Potter chatting. I don't know. It depends on what's going up and stuff like that. Who knows? Oh, Anton Yelchin, don't make me sad. That was so sad. Like, some celebrity deaths hit you harder than others. That was really sad. And the fact that they like released all the details about it too. I was like, I did not need to know how horribly he died. That's just really sad and upsetting. Oh. No, Ashes, I'm sorry. Don't say hello. We're going to sign off soon. I know. 90s cartoons. Oh, my childhood. Sometimes they do that, Karen. Like, there's an awful thing they like to do, and they used to do it every year. And it was when River Phoenix died outside of Johnny Depp's club. And every year on the anniversary of his death, they used to play the tape with Phoenix calling the ambulance, crying because his brother's dying in his arms. And it was the most awful thing. And I really hope they don't do that anymore. Like, there are some things they just need to not do. Like, it's disgusting. There are moments that are private. Like, stop. Don't be a vulture. Do you think someone could live in Thanos' chin? Oh. Just, Ant-Man. No, I know, like, some of the celebrity stuff, like, I can't. Yes, we're ending on a happy note. We're ending on the happy note of all of the exciting things that we're going to chat about. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy these so much, because I certainly do. And I'm glad that you embrace the salty me. You know, I was scared. I was honestly scared to reveal that I am a salty, crusty curmudgeon telling kids to get off her lawn. But I feel loved. So thank you very much. I'm glad that you can appreciate this, even though you guys really liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Honestly, I'm so glad that so many people liked it. It just wasn't me this time. But I like tons of stuff other people don't. So, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. As always, best dads in fandom. You stop. As always, this was a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to next week. I will post the link for this. It'll be unlisted, but I'll post the link again on my Twitter. So follow me. I'm at Shipper's Guide on there. And I'm also going to post on Insta, and I'm Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy on there as well. So, oh yeah, no, really, King. Like, the salt is just for here. Like, the vids are just talking about fandom in general. They have nothing to do with how I feel unless they are otherwise specified, but like Iron Jewel or something like that. Some people like don't think that's the case, but it really is. And now that you've been here, you know that's the case. So, as I was saying, Thank you so much. I enjoyed chatting with you as always. And we'll see you guys next week. And I'm going to go and sleep and wake up and work on Grindeldor some more. All right, guys. Good night or good day or whatever time it is. Bye-bye.